Now you're A-okay.
Mojo Monday, sir. How are you?
I'm great, Brett. Mojo Monday to you. And hopefully everyone out there in listening land is also launching their Mojo Mondays with us.
Absolutely. You realize this is our 73rd episode of Mojo Monday, Rick Hale.
That's remarkable. I didn't know there were 73 things we could talk about, but the more we talk about, the more we realize we've got 1,073 left, man. This is an endless supply of potential.
So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a series between now and the end of the year called Life Hacks. And there's so many little life hacks, but we're going to kind of pick, I think about 8 of our favorite and run through the end of the year, around how to hack your life in the sense of, well, how would you define a life hack? Like, what is a life hack?
Well, so I spoke to some teenagers and it was funny. It was a teen motivational, inspirational kind of a, who are you, why are you event. And I said, and I used the word life hack and they didn't know what that meant. And I said, well, it's kind of like cheating. And then I thought, as I'm speaking literally organically in the moment, I'm like, cheating's not really perceived cool at your age. And I'm like, well, it's never really considered cool. But I'm like, here's the deal. There's a litmus for cheating, which is a life hack. One, you don't break laws, that put anyone in peril or yourself. And 2, no one gets hurt. Yeah. And then I would say the overlay for a really good life hack is when you cheat the stress of making huge mistakes or not taking the path of least resistance. And then the overlay is if you become a better human being or you serve the world at a higher way, it's intelligent to take advantage of any life hack on the planet. And it's really just a corner, a cut, get there quicker, maybe be more effective in an approach to handling either resolution or opportunity.
Yeah. What I'm hearing you say is it's work smarter, not harder.
100%. Really you could have just said that, but I embellished.
There you go. Well, I mean, it's really that, how do we live our lives smarter instead of taking the long road, the tough road, this is really the road around how to, not necessarily find the shortcut, but live the best life in the smartest pursuit possible.
Yeah.
I love it.
I mean, why drive 20 minutes to the store when Amazon will bring you your package in a few hours and hand it to you?
Oh, we're not going there.
That's a life hack.
Here's life hack number 1. What is your gold medal gift? Rick, gold medal gift. I think we all think the Olympics, but frame this up for us.
So I was invited to a day with a billionaire, something that honestly I'll treasure forever. Something rare that happened. And anyway, I donated to a particular cause, and the bonus was that you get to spend a day with Jeff Hoffman. And those that don't know, Jeff Hoffman was the founder of Priceline.com. He also invented the kiosk at the airport. And the cool thing about him, he by definition created a life hack. He was in an airport, log jammed, got there late. So I think it was Chicago's O'Hare. And he missed his flight because the lines were so long. And all he was trying to do was hand them his baggage so that he could go get on his plane. And it took 40 minutes to get through the lines. And he said, there's got to be a better way. And he came up with the kiosk idea. And so he literally trademarked and registered and copyrighted, or whatever the word, not copywritten, but the kiosk. So when you check in and you do the pre-check and they give you your tags and you just hand it to them, that created efficiency that took the line down by 70% of the time. And so in that day that I spent with Jeff Hoffman, it was a mastermind with about 25 really smart, cool people. He made a really big deal out of how to win in life is to find your gold medal standard or your gold medal trait. What is the attribute that when you show up, you're undeniably competitive and likely one of the best, if not the best at it.
Yeah.
So gold medal.
Let's take this back to the Olympics, right? Like there's a bronze medal and there's a silver medal and there's a gold medal. And I think where I want to position this conversation is we're probably really good at a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
But what we're really looking for in this is, what's the gift you bring to the world that's going to put you on the top stage, the gold medal gift you have for the world? And
the flaw in the world, I think the flaw as a young person in our society and that where we're schooled is we're taught to learn a little bit about everything. And it's not until late in school. In fact, it's really college. If you don't go to college or trade school, jack of all trades is great, but they're also a master of none. Yeah. And so the people that, if you look around, look left and right, the people that have the highest earning jobs, the highest rate of return, the people that, find a need and solve it and are really good at that, they get paid 10x, 20x, 100x what generalists do. Generalists, they end up in, more mundane menial jobs.
Yeah. Well, you see that in the doctor's world, right? Like the specialists make all the money, and the one that just writes the antibiotic subscription is not making all the money.
No, it's a volume game in their world. And so, the margins are just different, and the desirability and the people that compete for that job are different. And your ability to create a unique value proposition to the universe is different when you're best in class. There's the long tail. There's the one or two brands and the one or two roles, and then everybody else trails below in a much less important way, and they're more easily replaced.
100%. So if I'm struggling with this, like, okay, I'm listening to you guys and y'all are talking about my gold medal gift. What are maybe some indicators in my life that would kind of go, hey, you should pay attention to this. This could be your gold medal gift.
Well, there are a few things. One, what do you wake up inspired to do? Because you're never going to, another aspect of having a gold medal gift is I believe it was Outliers, and was it Malcolm Gladwell that wrote Outliers? And, 10,000 hours is the magic amount of time. So sometimes people confuse their gold medal gift with, you don't do anything and you just have it, versus you're really already got a head start on everyone, but then you really get good at it by investing time and energy, mastering it. There's a difference between good and mastery. And so 10,000 hours is a magic number. I shared that with the kids the other night, and I said, 10,000 hours, what are you willing to commit 10,000 hours to do to be the top 1 or 2%? Because if you did that, you're undeniably valuable to an organization somewhere.
Yeah.
And so part of it is what you're inspired by. The other half of it is what are you committed to?
Yeah. And a lot of people, we use this term natural ability. And natural ability, yes, there is a natural ability to a lot of things, but it only takes people so far. And to actually end up on a podium at the Olympics or in life, it's natural ability will not get you there. You have to still hone the skill, hone the passion, hone the energy. And to me, you're talking about things that are inspiring. I think a gold medal gift is something that you find when you're doing that activity or in that flow, if you want to call it, your energy is high. It brings you energy. You're passionate about it, right? Mm-hmm. You use the word, you're inspired by it. I love that. I think we should pay attention to life. When I'm doing things that feed my energy, I'm passionate about it, I feel inspired by doing those things. That is an indicator. It could be my gold medal gift.
It could. And the only caution I would share is that, if it's a vocation or a career choice that you're looking down the barrel of and considering, it's got to be something in demand that the world sees value in and wants to pay for. There's an economical component, but that doesn't mean your gold medal gift can't be a hobby or something you truly enjoy outside of your work. We've said it many times, the goal of a career and income is to fund the perfect life.
Yeah.
So just another sidebar.
Yeah, but let's not make that a sidebar. Let's make that a main bar. Like, what society needs is important here. Right.
Well, keep going.
I want you to take it further because you were kicking it off. I mean, they're economically, we have to find things that people will compensate us for, right? But sometimes a hobby could turn into an economic gift. Sometimes you just have to be able to navigate that. You used an analogy in our prep for this call around basket weaving, right? Why don't you tell about that one?
I did. And it was kind of half joke, but not, there are people that are into particular nuances or a genre of industry, if you will. And I'm absolutely certain that if you are the top 1% of any industry and you find a way to feed the people that are intrigued by it, and if there's a population big enough, you can charge almost whatever, the market deems what it's worth because that's what they're willing to pay. But there's probably a subset of people that'll pay for anything if it's best in class and perceived, and they'll pay a premium for it. So the catch is you've got to first identify a market and know that there's opportunity. And the second half is what does it look like for you to illustrate that core genius in a way that they want to pay a premium for it. But there are some areas of life that are easier than others because there's commonality. I mean, Nike came along, are they really the best shoes in the world? There's lots of brands that create shoes, but they also layered a cool factor into it that made it a desirable shift from the shoes of the past. When Nike hit the scene, man, they were really hot back in the day, and to some degree still are. But how do you spin your core genius in a way that's also marketing savvy and attractive?
Absolutely. Nike's a good example of branding matters too, but that's a whole nother life hack. All right.
Yeah, just do it.
Public persona. Who do we believe would be a good analogy of understanding how to find your gold medal gift? We talked earlier. I think Deion Sanders. We're sitting here in Atlanta. I think Deion Sanders would be a good conversation point around how to really discover your gold medal gift. And right now, of course, he's rising the ranks in college football coaching, but that wasn't always his gold medal gift. Talk me through.
Well, when Deion showed up in Atlanta, straight from Florida State, he was electrifying. And if you polled him then and you said, "Hey, Deion, what do you bring to the table?" I'm going to tell you, it's probably two things. One, he had an electrifying personality. Like, he was just fun to watch, and he oozed confidence. And not only did he ooze confidence, but he actually produced in a way that was awe-inspiring. I mean, the guy he was by far the fastest guy on the field and the most fun to watch. When he picked a ball, and his pick six were unrivaled, and he danced his way into the end zone. But the point, in gold medal gifts is that over time, certain things change, markets change, environments change, you change. We physically change, we mentally change, we emotionally change. Your identity is a big part of this conversation. When you look in the mirror, what do you see? What excites, inspires? What in you do you love that makes the world a better place? And then is your gold medal gift aligned with it so that it's applicable and actually shows up on the field? And the conversation around Deion that's interesting to me is watching now. I would guess that he was a one-man wrecking crew in the locker room, and that it was neon Deion, man. It wasn't, Deion, teammate and everyone, let's lift. I mean, he was kind of he stood on top of the shoulders of everyone else, basically, socially.
Well, I think about energy, passion, and inspiration, right? I guarantee that showed up in the locker room.
I'm sure it did, but it was still all about neon Deion. Now you watch him on TV now, and he's talking about team. He's talking about camaraderie. He's talking about rituals. He's talking about, there's no one person on his current team, and they're winning some games in Mississippi. And he's on the short list of people, he could be hired at Auburn next week if he really wanted it, I bet.
Yeah.
That's another story. They've had some real problems, but the point is, he's also debilitated physically. He's had some massive issues. And, you watch him, I watched him on a 60-minute special. He runs around in a golf cart. He's not able to really even walk some days. And so the gifts of yesterday aren't your gifts of tomorrow. So one of the things I would challenge our listeners today is go, all right, so at some point, my purpose in life might evolve. What do my gifts do to make the world a better place in that evolution or evolved version of myself? How does my experiential path, my passion, the things that come somewhat naturally, but the things I've also invested 10,000 hours, how do I apply those in a way that levels me up and levels the world up on some degree?
Yeah. And economically, there's a book called The Go-Giver that explains this, but basically your gift and your gold medal gift, the more people that gets to experience your gold medal gift is directly related to how much economics make their way back to you. For instance, school teachers typically have great gold medal gifts, but they're only affecting 30 to maybe 50 people in any given moment, right? Where an orator on a stage might affect 10,000 people at a time, and compensation doesn't look fair. We understand that. But in this concept of your gold medal gift, the more people that get to experience your gold medal gift economically will find its way back to you for sure.
Well, and technology has changed the landscape of that. What used to be, I can't even, I don't know if you had a conundrum or problem or challenge, man, you had to go to the Encyclopedia Britannica that might have been printed 20 years ago and on a dusty shelf. Today, man, there are no secrets. You can fast track information. You can fast track inspiration. You can fast track role models. You can find people like you doing it. And because of the economies of scale and the scope of the internet, I mean, these podcasters are making millions of dollars just, sharing their core genius, or maybe it's just your ability to attract talent and people, like who are a connector, if you will, and to ask really good questions. I mean, who knew that was a core, a potential gold medal skill or talent? But
Yeah.
look at Seth Rogen, and I mean, they're banking, and all
Yeah.
they're really doing is having really good conversations that people are interested in.
Rick, I'm gonna put you on the spot. What's your gold medal gift?
I think there's two things. One, my capacity to communicate. I've worked really hard. I go all the way back to college when I recognized this as a skill or a natural gift, I should say, that I evolved into a skill. And in college, I sold subscriptions to the paper door to door, and I would hit 85, 90 doors a night. And what I realized is I love people, and I enjoy diversity, and I enjoy diverse conversations, and I like hearing people's stories, and that's an inviting experience. So I think being somewhat magnetic, but it's mostly because I'm not interesting, I'm more interested. And that's a twist in the way I look at conversations. And the other is tenacity. I also woke up that, realizing that if I outworked everybody, and I really do the work, I'm going to come out ahead, because most people won't do it. And
Yeah.
so again, 90 doors a night in college, and I'd get 4 or 5 subscriptions out of it and make $75, $100. It was a win in that era of my life. But the more important win wasn't the economic gain. It was the experiential recognition that, hey, I have capacity to do these two things well. And then the next question is always, and should be in your mind, how do I apply those in our ecosystem so that, it's funds my life and rewards me. And it's not a path that's super resistant. If you'd said, Rick, you're going to, you have to be an engineer or a computer programmer, or, you won't be able to feed your family. Maybe I could have figured that out. Maybe, but I would have been miserable. I'm not a sit in a computer guy punching numbers and code. That's just not my gift. So, as time goes on, and our company's done an amazing job of teaching us, there's 7 or 8 lanes inside of, owning a real estate company and running a real estate team. And the goal is to augment the people around you that are their core genius or gold medal talent supports yours. And then the alignment becomes an undeniable winning formula.
There you go.
What's yours, Brett?
I would have to say, and here's the thing. It's not as clear as we thought we like. Here we are talking about this, and I asked you that earlier, and you asked me, and I'm like, oh, I think it's this. And you started your sentence with, I think it's this. So I'm not sure that we always fully understand it, but we certainly try to define it, right? And to me, my definition is, I feel like I'm really good. My gold medal gift is helping people find the inspiration in their life to go get what they want to get. And whether it's understanding their motivations or understanding their big why, if we talk that terminology, or just figuring out what motivates them to fire up to go live a big life, I feel like that's my gold medal gift to the world.
Yeah.
And I've got other gifts, but if I'm trying to find the gold medal, that's the one.
Yeah. Well, and I would suggest that it's your thought-provoking, caring, and you also ask really good questions, which is how you do it. So there's not only is it your gift, but you have strategies that support an outcome that's favorable and positive 10 out of 10 times. So
I appreciate
well played,
that.
sir.
All right, challenge us.
I'd say just take a deep breath and look at your day planner and figure out where you're getting the greatest joy, and then analyze your skills and so you asked the question earlier, by the way, how would you go find your gold medal gift? It might be buried inside of a personality profile too. Like, what natural gifts lend themselves to activities and behaviors that come more naturally. So, I don't think the core of who you are changes often, but we do evolve. And the thing is, it's slow and then sudden. And so I'd say go back and take a personality assessment of some kind, whether it's a DISC test and Abelson, Johnson, and O'Connor, or the KPA inside of Keller Williams. Go take that and just have someone walk you through it, and just make sure the things you're doing are aligned with your natural aptitude. And then look at your day planner and maybe score yourself on the activities you're participating in and what gives you the greatest joy, because if it gives you greater joy, you're likely to repeat it. And if you repeat it, you're likely to land on your 10,000 hour mastery goal.
Boom. Mic drop. Mojo Monday.
All right. Take care of it, man. Have an incredible week, people. Love you.